This video is going to talk about proper maintenance and care for the cello. It's very similar to the violin videos if you've watched that either by accident or for fun. But a couple things that we have to talk about with it. When you take out your bow, make sure that you use the screw on the end to tighten the strings. They don't have to be crazy tight and tense like that, but just make sure that when you move the bow around, the strings aren't hanging loose, that they're nice and tight and there's a little bit of tension right there, because that will help them grip the strings properly. If it's too loose, you're not going to get a sound, or you're not going to get a good sound on the instrument. Next, after you've tightened the hairs on the bow, take out this little white box. Inside is what we call rosin. It looks like this. Rosin is a substance that we put on the hairs of the bow in order to make sure that the hairs properly grip the strings. If you've ever heard a violin squeaking or screeching really loudly, or a cello squeaking, it means that there's probably not enough rosin on the bow and that the bow hairs aren't gripping the strings properly. So rosining up the bow is pretty simple. All you have to do, take your rosin, start at the end of the bow, and bring the bow up and down on the rosin. Once it's moving back and forth pretty smoothly, that's all you need to do. That's enough. Make sure that you don't just run in the center of it right here. Use the either end of the rosin as well, because otherwise you're going to get a huge groove right in the middle of the rosin and you're going to wear it down pretty quickly. So like I said, just make sure that the bow is moving nice and smoothly back and forth over the rosin. That's all you need, and then you can start playing. So. When you're done playing, oftentimes you're going to find that there's some white powder, or what looks like white powder on the instrument. It's a little difficult to see in this light, but if you look under the strings over here, there is actually some white powder. That powder is just rosin that's come off the bow over the course of you practicing. So it is important to clean that up when you're done. All you need is a cloth rag, or even, like I'm using right now, an old t-shirt. And all you have to do, take that t-shirt or that rag, wipe up any of the extra rosin that has fallen, mostly on the wood of the instrument. I'm not so concerned about the neck, which is what we call this, or the strings themselves. Just wipe the rosin off the wood, otherwise over time it'll start to dull the sound of the instrument. And then you can do the same thing with the bow as well. Just take your t-shirt or your cloth rag, wipe down a little of the extra rosin from the bow. As you can see, that white mark right there, that's the rosin that's come off the bow. And then, when you're done, you can put the instrument away. Before you put the bow away, however, make sure that you loosen the hairs on the bow. Otherwise, they're going to get tight. They're going to start to break from the strain of that. So just make sure that you loosen the hairs of the bow. Again, not all the way, not a crazy amount. Just get some of that tension out of the hairs so that they last longer. If, and this has happened to some of us as we've gotten the instruments in class, you see that there's hairs hanging off the bow. Don't worry, that's normal. It happens over time. Just take a nail clipper, clip the hair off the end of the bow. Just be careful, make sure you're only clipping that one hair. Otherwise, you're going to lose half the hairs on the bow, and you're going to need a new bow. So just take a nail clipper, clip off that one little hair, and it's not a big deal. Okay, so to sum up, rosin the bow, make sure it moves smoothly across the rosin and you're ready to go. When you're done practicing, clean off any rosin that has fallen off the bow onto the instrument itself. Clean off the extra rosin on the bow, put the instrument away, clip loose hairs off with a nail clipper, and you're all set to go. As always, let me know if you have questions, post them on this video, post them on Google Classroom, send them to me via email, whatever you need, and I will get the answers to you as soon as you can, either by return email, return comment, or in class when I see you next week. And again, string enrichment will be coming up soon. I'm going to have more information for you in the coming week, and I hope that you come to as many sessions as you can, because you're going to get a lot of great individual work with cello during those string enrichment sessions. So I can't wait to get started with those. I will have that information to you next week, and I will see you in class soon.